Yeah, there's this sort of desolate gray scale, almost kind of. The skyboxes are really great because there's this one image that they use for the clouds that just really pops. It's so awesome. Anyway, if you don't think the graphics are good, it's probably because you're right, but it definitely grows on you. And the effects and the blur and stuff is where it's at, man. Like,
Yeah.
they have a good atmosphere going for them. And this guy has a good sword up his butt.
What was the reception of this game like?
Amazing. Any review that's worth its salt or worth reading, 9 out of 10 most of the time. 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. This game's quickly become a cult classic in the few months that it's been out. It's just unanimous that this is probably one of the most amazing games ever. It's a little hard to kind of see why when we're playing it like this, because you're not sinking your teeth into it, but it just does so many things right, So yeah, it's great.
So great.
Okay, so besides that, because I'm curious, what are some of the other worst Tinder dates that you had?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
God.
We're going there?
Kai, did I tell you? I guess I haven't told you about this. Wow. So I purposely haven't told anybody this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell this to you.
Oh boy.
So one of the first Tinder dates I went on was with this girl who I talked to a little bit, and we were friends. We added each other on Snapchat, which is a huge relief, by the way, because you always are like, oh, okay, you're real, and this is what you do.
Yeah.
And she agreed to go out. We made an agreement, and part of the contract was that she would go out with me. So
she signed on the dotted line that said I could totally fondle her boobies.
First thing I did, not even a question, not even a word. So we met up at this place. I was like, oh, I was kind of nervous. I don't really know what she likes. I don't know if she'd rather be going to a club. I don't know if she'd be a bar. And John, why didn't you ask her? I don't know. So I met up with her at a secret bar, which I thought was pretty cool. She'd never been to one.
A secret bar?
Yeah, it's like the Blind Barber in Culver City is. It's like you walk into a barber shop, and it actually is a barber shop, like a functioning one, and there's a closet in the back with some coats and shit hanging on it. But so it looks like it would just go to a back room or a closet, but when you open up it, it's like a full-fledged bar.
Really?
It's like an entirely different space. Yeah, they're super cool. They're so fun, and they usually have really cool themes and stuff to them. And I think Dave Chappelle actually did a show there. Was that somewhere else? Anyway, so I took her there, but the thing was I was nervous. So before I left, I had a drink at home, and then I showed up and she was late, so I had a Manhattan, which I typically do, by myself before she got there. And she showed up and we had a drink together, but there was nowhere to sit, so we got in an Uber and we started hopping from place to place, and we went to 3 or 4 places, each time stopping, having a drink, hanging out, and it was kind of fun. We were just sort of hopping around. Conversation was really good. We were getting along really well. I really liked her personality, stuff of that nature. Yeah. So we go to the last place that we go for that night. It is less than half a mile away from my house, so it was kind of a spot that I wanted to make myself a regular in. And when I walk in, I realize I'm kind of wasted because
God.
I had been so nervous that every single spot we had, I had a drink, and I had 5, and I didn't have any sense of the time that had been passed, but let me tell you, it wasn't very much time, and I didn't eat anything before I went out like an idiot. So I get another drink, and as we go to sit down, it's super crowded, and because I'm kind of wobbly, I accidentally spill some of it on the back of this guy's jacket, but it's not a big deal. I was like, oh, sorry about that. It wasn't a whole lot, and he was wearing a rain jacket, but I felt bad, but I was like, okay, I'm just trying to keep my wits about me. So we sit down, and I'm like, you know what? You just excuse me for one little second, babe. I didn't call her babe, but I went to the bathroom, and
yeah, you totally did. You totally did.
I didn't. I went to the bathroom, I threw up, And I had that
No.
moment where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, John, you're in big trouble. And I don't know how you're going to get out of this. And I think you just you better get ready for a really bad time.
Gosh.
So I walk out of the bathroom and I'm trying to walk toward her and I like stumble as I'm walking and she looks at me and I realize it's the first time she's realized this dude is schwasty. He totally is
No.
like drunk, but it was so on accident. So I sat down and I'm like trying to like hold a normal conversation. She's like, are you okay? And then all of a sudden this guy comes up. This really tall dude. He's like, hey, you. And like pulls me up and there's the guy with the jacket. He like puts his hands on my shoulders and looks at me. He's like,
Hey man, if you're gonna spill a drink down a guy's jacket, you better at least say sorry. Not cool, man.
and this big guy was
Gee
like,
whiz.
you gotta go, buddy. You gotta go, man. I was like, oh no. I was like, put my hands on his shoulders and I was like, I'm just not.
You put your hand softly on his butt, and you're like,
I was
"Come on,
like-
I'm sure we could work something out."
Kiss me.
So yeah, I was escorted out of the bar. I was
No
kicked out of the
way.
bar.
No
And
way.
Someone got me an Uber, and the girl Ubered home, and we went our separate ways. And I woke up the next morning, like feeling totally awful, super sick that night. And I was so sure that she was never going to talk to me again, but we ended up talking a little bit more. And then I was so embarrassed that I pretty much just like cut it off.
Wow. That's wild. That reminds me of when I had to pick something out of my eye while I was playing video games with my friend. No. That reminds me of the time I there was because remember I was part of the rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
And he had all his super cool rugby friends, and I was kind of like the nerdy little brother that he had to bring places so he didn't feel left out. He being me. And
Yeah.
it was great because everyone was nice to me, and they offered me lots of narcotics and alcohol, which helped. There's this cute girl. Do you remember? She lived in Drescher our senior year. Do you remember? Yeah, really cute, bubbly. Not important, but okay. So I totally had a huge crush on her. God, you're gonna hate this story because it's gonna make you cringe worse than your own story did. But get this. Let me check the map first, really quick. I'm the map. I'm the map. There it is.
Map.
So we got there early. We're all smoking cigars and drinking beer because I had picked up a few of them because it's just something we like to do, is just smoke cigars for some weird reason. We thought it was cool. He can pull it off. I can't. But anyway, so we're smoking cigars, drinking beer. I finish a beer and I get through half of the cigar.
Oh no.
And
I don't want it. I don't want this.
oh no, it gets worse. And then someone pulls out a joint, and we all start sharing it. I was like, yeah, I'll have some. And I smoke about I take a couple of hits, and ooh, damn, got him.
Damn.
And she sees us and she goes, guys, you're here? And I say, hey. And I was like, oh yeah, oh, gosh, because I was really excited to see her. I hadn't felt anything
real
yet.
life, you're like,
I was still pretty sober by then because it all happened within a half an hour.
Gotcha.
And she was so flirty and so fun. She sits on the couch with us, and we're hanging out, talking like normal. And then once more people start coming out to the patio and hanging out with us, she says, here, I'm gonna sit on your lap. And so she sits on my lap while I'm like holding a cigar and a beer, thinking I'm the coolest guy in the world at the rugby party.
Of course, dude.
And she was so nice, bless her. And then we're talking, and then the bass drops.
Guy.
What?
She sits on my lap and just, God bless her heart. You know what I mean?
God bless her sweet heart.
Put that thick ass on my lap. God bless it.
Put that nasty booty all up on me where Jesus intended. So the worst part was it was a completely sober experience until this cutscene happened that I don't remember. Anyway, until the bass drops and another half an hour passes and I start to feel everything at once. I feel the upset tummy from the beer
Yes.
and the cigar, and I feel the crossfadedness of the beer and the weed, and it was
Yep.
just all sorts of bad. All
Yep.
sorts of bad.
It's never good.
And
It's never good. I've never been crossfaded and happy.
so she's on my lap and she's laughing at everything that I'm saying for some weird ass reason. And I say, "Hey, hold that thought for a second." And she's like, "Yeah, for sure." And she hops off my lap. I walk around the back area and completely just fucking barf everywhere. Just projectile vomit everywhere into this pile of leaves, right? I wipe my mouth off and I'm like, God, that was the worst. Not enough, because the dog shows up and then starts hanging out with me. I'm petting this dog. I just finished barfing. I'm like fatigued, you know.
It's just me and the dog and my barf in the leaves.
Yep. Then the dog goes potty. That was
Right.
his potty spot. I didn't realize that the leaves were his potty spot. So
Kai,
then I walked.
This is like the most not big of a deal story I've ever heard so far.
No. Get this. So I realized that was his potty spot. I walk away and something compelled me to look at my shoe, and there was poop all over my shoe.
Good.
So I had to walk past the party, everyone on the patio, like 12 people, with poopy shoe, just threw up. Everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And they might have heard me throwing up. Who knows? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I go to the bathroom, and then I close the bathroom door, and then someone knocks and opens the door, and who do you think it is?
My dad.
Yeah. So your dad's sitting there watching me scrape poop off my shoe. No. Obviously. Sitting there watching me with like barf face. You know, that kind of like pale face you get after you finish.
Your like
just
eyes are all
eating.
bloodshot. And you're look
Crying,
really
probably.
disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, and she goes, "Oh, sorry." Total change of demeanor, right? And I was so embarrassed, and I didn't get all the poop out of my shoe. And then he goes, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I think I just need to go." And he was so cool about everything. He was just like, "Yeah, let's get out of here, man." And we went home. And then, you know, what was nice is that every time she saw me after that, she always treated me like super normal.
Yeah.
But I'll always remember the look on her face when she saw me digging into that poop under my shoe.
She took one look at your barfy face. It was like
My stupid face.
that guy's a poop digger for sure.
Yeah.
I'll never sit on that poop digging lap again.
Yep.
And that was that. That's so awesome.
No,
I
it
mean,
was the worst.
that definitely sounds like something that was more embarrassing in your mind than it was in real life. I'd like.
You
to
think
say.
so? That wasn't that
I
bad?
think so.
I think
don't
that's
it was
worse
that
than
bad.
your story.
Really?
Yeah, because yours involved barf as well. Yours involved a girl and embarrassing yourself, but mine had poop. Yours didn't have poop.
I guess, but mine also got me kicked out of a bar, and a girl had to go home. And I didn't also mention that at that point of the night, it was like 10:30.
Yeah, okay, but here's the thing. I effectively kicked myself out of that party by being an idiot. So
Right? You can't throw up where dogs poop.
you can't what? I can't what?
You can't throw up where dogs poop.
Oh. I just didn't hear you. Everyone dead. You are. Oh, that's a big boy.
It's a big boy. Oh, he's a big boy. Oh, he's
What's that voice remind me of?
You got a big hands, hold a big sandwich.
What's that from?
You know, I think it might be from, what's that YouTube show? The Julian Smith, the big boy. Are you a big boy?
Maybe.
Okay, that's
Maybe
great.
that sounds familiar.
No.
Crazy. Yeah, I do this thing where I think I'm cooler and smarter than I actually am, where I like to trick myself, and I'll say,
Everyone, I
nah,
think everyone does that, right?
no,
Like in
but
social situations.
yeah, sure, but in life,
Oh,
life efficiency, doing what you need to do to be the best person you can be, which is probably, oh snap,
Ah,
did you see? Oh, I died.
oh shit, that's death right there.
Yep, neato. Did you see how I was like flipping through the air?
Yeah.
But oh, okay. So every time someone dies, it shows up in another person's game, and that's what that praying stuff is. So my body report is going to show up as a cursed child
Oh.
vowed vengeance at the enemy's lair.
Oh my
Yeah, that
gosh.
sounds about right.
That's crazy.
Um, yeah. Rolling query system. Yeah, it just explains the Dark Souls thing.
Yeah.
Let's go get our shit back. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I tend to do things that are very drastic. No, not drastic. God, I'm so dramatic. You know, like after freshman year, I deleted all my social media. Just kind
Yeah.
of a cleanse.
Yeah.
I do that stuff. With Tinder, it's this reoccurring thing because I've never subscribed to any other social media outlet since I took them out of my life, being
Right.
Facebook and what have you.
Yeah.
This garbage again. But with Tinder, for some reason, I always just crawl back to it because I always get like super lonely.
Yeah.
And then I realize how not nice people are on there and how no one cares about one another. I definitely don't care about the other person enough to, I
You
am.
can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
it's really hard. It's not a heartless sort of thing where you just genuinely don't care about the other person. It's just there's such a disconnect, and the intent is so obvious that it really sours any kind of relationship that you're trying to facilitate with this person. I wonder if there's my body. Oh, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
so
whoa, whoa, whoa.
all the enemies come back.
Do I wish yes? Wait. Yeah. Oh, and I got smacked as soon as that happened. Okay.
Seems like you take a pretty heavy amount of damage though.
Yeah, you there's no messing around. You got to kind of be vigilant. You can't take a lot of hits,
I mean,
especially okay, so this is normal mode,
yeah.
and in normal mode, you see how I have that lock on feature, the red reticle on him. I can lock
Yeah.
onto any enemy just like Kingdom Hearts or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
In hard mode, you don't have that, which makes the game a lot harder than you think it would be. Naturally, duh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
But
big thing.
then there's like another mode, or that might be hard mode as well, where if you get hit once, you die.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's really easy to die because you get hit a lot without even knowing, even just splash damage. If there's like an explosion that happens and you just aren't paying attention, it's going to be bad news bears. Look at this guy. Look at this idiot.
That is really, really good butterfly stroke.
If he were in a pool, he would be across the world right now.
You felping it. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just admit that I've missed this detail so far.
Yeah. hit me.
Do you pretty much have unlimited everything? Or, like, is there a recharge time for, like, certain combos or certain attacks? Or is there, like, a limitation to, like, how many times you can shoot someone? Or are you pretty much just free to go?
Ammo isn't unlimited. That laser is limited. It has a cooldown.
Okay.
Combos are unlimited. There's no stamina. Bullets are unlimited. Like I said, I think
You did.
the only thing that isn't unlimited are like curatives. So healing. I'll probably have to buy some more soon. Yeah. Not
I love
very
it.
intense. There's no economy to the combat, really.
I think the simplicity is kind of refreshing.
Yeah, it's appreciated too, because the game is hard, There's a
Yeah.
flow to combat, just like in Bayonetta. There's a
Mhm.
flow to it, and if you're not really paying attention and you're just kind of poo-pooing your way through it and mashing buttons, you can just kind of screw up. Oh, I might have to put those chips back on. Chips.
Did you listen to that song I sent you last night?
No, what was it?
You're an asshole.
Is
No,
it the Melody's Echo Chamber?
I think it was.
Yeah, Melody's Echo Chamber. You sent that song to and I.
Yeah.
I've known about Melody's Echo Chamber for years now, so
That's good stuff.
Welcome to the party.
You're a pretty cool guy, Kai. That's really crazy. I bet no one else knows that, like, you know